And welcome to Capital Talk, a program we hope will have an impact on the future of Kenya. Now more than ever, I'm Jeff Koinange. Now all this week, The Bench is all about celebrating Kenya's best and brightest. That's what they are. We call them newsmakers, we call them people just representing at every level. These guys make us proud to be Kenyan. On the bench today, a young man who's barely 30 years old. He's actually 29, not yet 30. And the things he has done for this country, folks, you need to sit back. He started off at KBC, folks. Imagine that, earning 3,000 shillings a month. Went on to KTN where he cut his teeth. And the name, Jicho Pevu, was born. You know the man I'm talking about, folks. This man investigating, digging deep, bringing answers where none exist, folks. Where the establishment tried to hold answers back, he dug in. And all the stories he's done, whether it's in Kenya, the corruption, the graft, the killings, the tortures, everything, investigating, digging. Not just in Kenya, folks. Uganda, Somalia, Belgium, Netherlands. He has brought us stories that just make you say, wow. This is Kenya's premier, yes, #1 investigative journalist. And he's won more than a dozen awards to his name. Even the President of the Republic gave him that head of state commendation, that HSC, because people recognize at the end of the day, he's a rare breed, no doubt, fearless as they come. And folks, he's just gotten a new gig back at the Twin Towers with his old colleague. I tell you, folks, investigative journalism will never be the same. Now, he's at NTV. 2 words, folks, sit back. Jicho Pevu's on the bench. You may know him better as Mohammed Ali. My brother, yeah. Welcome to the bench, man.
Thanks a lot.
I'm looking around and seeing, wapi security? Do you worry, man? Do you get scared sometimes?
At the beginning, when I started Jicho Pevu, yes, I used to be scared. But now, I feel like I'm a dead man walking. There's no reason to get scared, because what I'm telling Kenyans is nothing but the truth. So you will never be scared when you're telling the truth. That's why you see me.
Yeah. Moha, sometimes, yes, we want to hear the truth, but nobody really cares about the messenger. You know what they always say? You shoot the messenger. That's my biggest fear. And for you, I know now you're a household name, right? Everybody knows you. So if anything ever happened to you, people would know, they would point fingers. But still, I know your mother worries about you a lot.
Yeah, she worries about me a lot. In fact, if there's somebody who worries about me a lot, it's my mother. She's the only one that I have. My dad passed away in 2007 when I was starting my career at KTN. And she calls me every day. Mohammed, where are you? Mom, I'm heading home. Okay, fine. When you reach, let me know. Once I reach, I call her back. Mom, I'm there. Was there anything you wanted to tell me? Just close your door.
Yeah.
Make sure that if anybody appears, knocks on your gate, piga nduru. That's her word, eh? Piga nduru. Yeah. Paka majirani wakuja wakusaidie. But you see, she's very old now. And there's nothing I can do to change that. I'm in and I'm in for life.
Yeah. What does she say about what you do? Does she say you're crazy? Does she say, are you mad? Why couldn't you get a real job?
She's not happy about what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, she understands why I'm doing this. And I always tell her, Mom, look, these are the people who are coming to me. My office has been turned as a small police station. In fact, I receive more complaints than police themselves. These are the people who have problem. They are coming to me because they believe in me. Mom, you should be very proud. You have a son who listens and helps a lot of Kenyans. Today it's me, tomorrow it's you. Let me do what I can. This is a God-given talent. Let me do it.
Yeah. Mohai, your scariest story, which is the scariest you've ever done? Was it the Artur brothers? Was it tracing that whole drug link? Which was the scariest?
There are many, but the one that I'll never forget in my life is the Artur brother story, whereby this GSU adjutant was killed Erastus Kirui Chemurei. Throughout the investigation, I couldn't believe that this thing is happening in Kenya. You know, it was like a movie. So every time I hear the name Erastus Kirui Chemurei, you know, I feel like something should be done. That is one of the stories that I've done, and I'm like, wow, this is it.
Yeah. And the response you got from that, I mean, it was unbelievable. I think on YouTube it's like 1 million hits or something, because you touched something. You went where no other journalist has ever gone, and you woke up the establishment. You woke them up, right? And this story is not going to go away. I guess you're going to make sure that the people who did this will come to book.
Jeff, this is the Kenya that we don't want, first of all. Erastus Kirui Chemurei, this is not my word. According to the High Court, he was executed by fellow police officers who are still serving as senior police officers, others as assistant police commissioner. They are out there. It's so painful to see such a thing happen, and the people who did it are known, and they are still in the office. Kenya police is a kind of a force that will never ever win a case. It's a kind of a force that will never ever listen to the innocent. It's a force meant for big people, not the small people. And that is why every time you mention the name Kenya Police, you know, somebody tells you, afadhali nikutane na jambazi bali ya polisi. But I don't blame the junior officers. I blame the seniors. You know, most of them are there politically. They don't serve the Kenyans. They don't protect the Kenyans. It's so painful when I hear that senior officers are sitting down every day discussing my issues. You know, according to my sources, police commissioner, CID director, DPP, you know, NSIS director, sitting down discussing about me.
But Moha,
rather than discussing about the national security of this country, they should tell Kenyans where are these hand grenades coming from. They should tell Kenyans why are they being attacked every day, but not waste your time thinking about Moha.
do you get frustrated sometimes, Moha, when you expose all these people? We know who they are. We know who the drug barons are. Everyone talks about it in the streets now, right? But nothing is ever done about it. Does that frustrate you?
A lot, Jeff. Every time I do something and there's nothing, there's no feedback, I feel like, you know, I'm talking to people who are deaf in the system. People who don't want to listen. It's clear, 1 + 1 is 2, but some people are making it look like 3. People who don't want change in this country. It's so sad when you see the facts are there. You know, the court has said A, B, C, D, and it is not done. It's so sad when a small man outside there in Huruma or Mathare or Kibera does a thing. He's chased with like 10 cars behind, taken to court like a most wanted criminal. And when a big man does that, it's a normal thing.
Mohan, when you started off, your attachment was at KBC, right?
Yes.
You were earning 3,000 shilling.
Man, it was crazy, Jeff. It's crazy.
3K.
You know, getting attachment at KBC was like you're getting a passport to go to Europe.
No.
It was so difficult. So difficult.
Yeah.
You have to know somebody to get inside.
Right.
But thanks God I got it. The people there were good. The problem is after 3 months, Jeff, you have to leave that place. I was crying to work for free.
Yeah.
You know, I'm wondering why are these guys not taking me?
Yeah.
I want to work for them for free.
Yeah.
I don't want money. The passion is there. This is what I wanted all my life. So I used to get 3,000 to do some voiceover in Kiswahili radio. I used to work in TV and radio production. So you can imagine 3,000, Nairobi 2002. Yeah. Sonko. Ukipita mtaani here watu wanasema that guy works at KBC. But in reality, he's on attachment. He's an artist. They used to call us artists. You know, you are given something small to survive,
right.
But you are not fully employed. Yeah.
Did you know, Moha? Did you have it in you to do the stories you do today? Did you tell yourself one day I want to be doing investigative stories. I want to dig deep and expose rotten corruption and stuff. Did you know then?
When I was in class 7-6 there, it was like a dream, but I wanted to be a police officer or a soldier, but a good one, a good cop. I wanted to be, you know, the dramas that you see in the movies, the detectives. I wanted to play part in helping my people do a proper investigation. At the same time, I wanted to be a journalist. I was so noisy in class. Every time, who is making noise? It's Moha. Every time napigwa kiboko sana. It's me who is making noise all the time.
Yeah.
But it was something in me that was burning and I didn't know. When I was done with my O-level, I thought I should try the force. I tried, but unfortunately I didn't have the 20,000 bribe they wanted. I tried the military. Unfortunately, I didn't have the money they wanted. I tried the GSU. I didn't have the money they wanted. It's so sad that Kenyans want to serve this country. Kenyans want to hold that crown, that gun to protect this country. But he can only do that by bribing. So I didn't get a chance. And I say to myself, maybe God doesn't want me to be a cop. Let me try being a journalist.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. Started getting attachment at KBC. I started freelancing with the Weekly Citizen, a newspaper which is on the streets, Weekly Citizen.
Yes.
Started freelancing with the Standard newspaper. I get 1,200 bob per story or 600 and I feel wow. I take a picture if it appears on the newspaper and I'm like, wow, this is it. You know, I'll keep it in my room, very safe, to prove that I'm a journalist. But step by step, things started changing. When I was employed by KTN, that was in 4th of June 2007, as a rookie reporter, I was embedded with the likes of John Alanamu and Pete Hamos on an assignment in Mathare, the Kosovo thing, when they were flashing out Mungiki.
Yes.
And this is where I think my life changed. The police were killing in the name of Mungiki. All the journalists came together. I don't know whether they were brainwashed. Innocent people, women were crying, children. They were starving the whole day. No food. Imagine a 3-year-old boy crying. But the police doesn't have a mercy and let the woman go with her child. Say, bibi ya Mungiki ni Mungiki. It was so painful. I was observing everything. And there was a time that, you know, guys were going inside, coming out with sacks. You know, these are gunias. They put the dead body, wrap the dead body with, and they are coming out. And I was asking myself, what is happening at the other end? I tiptoed pole pole to that place, only to find out that there is a cop, a hooded guy, whose work is only to execute. If a cop suspects that you look like a Mungiki, you are taken to the slaughterhouse, a small room. They shoot you at a point blank. Then the other guys does the thing to load you in the Land Rover, which is waiting up there in on the hill. So I saw this and I was like, you know, I couldn't believe.
There was
then
extrajudicial
killing. The guy turned the gun towards my direction and I'm like, I couldn't even talk, Jeff. Then he asked me in Swahili, we ni nani? Say, mimi ni mwandishi wa habari. Toka hapa. I left that place very quickly. Then he communicated to the person who was in charge and he said that there is a young man who is saying he's a journalist who saw me doing ABCD. So Sunkuli got hold of my hand and he was taking me towards the bush. And he was like, we unafanya kazi wapi? Mimi nafanya KTN. Are you new in Nairobi? Yes, I'm very new. Yeah, listen very carefully, young man. Mungiki is a menace in the society. They have been torturing, killing people. I want you to support the Kenya police on this mission. And I just said, yes, I'll do that. I'll support the Kenya police fully.
Wow.
That day I went back to the newsroom, sat down, and my boss was asking me, Kizito, umeona vile kazi inafanywa? And I'm like, yeah, nimeona. I was very quiet. Then I'm like, 7 p.m. news, and 9, I'm like tuning into all the stations, seeing what they are going to tell us. They are singing the same song. 11 suspected Mungiki criminals have been killed in Madare, Kosovo.
And it was executions.
It was execution.
Moha, hold that thought, man. That's a chilling thought. I know it's a chilly day, but it's a chilling thought for all that. And also, how do you survive all this? Because you've seen the death, you've seen the killings, you've seen dead bodies everywhere. How does one, as a journalist, because there's a lot of young men and women watching you right now, how do they cope with all the trauma? I think they call it PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah. Let's talk about that. And also, where do you want to take it from here? I know you're at NTV now. You're back with John Allen Namo. What are you working on? What's the next big story? Is it Saitoti? Wow, what a bright young spark, folks. Mohammed Ali, Jicho Pevu, call him what you want. This is the interview that everyone on social media has been asking for. And yes, we have him on the bench. He's barely 30 years old, but he has seen a lifetime, yes, a lifetime of images. And he continues his work, folks. This is what we mean when we talk about the future of Kenya. Right here, Moha, fearless, no doubt. Dead man walking, he says. Oof, the bench, folks, is chilly, but it's about to blow up. Somebody call G4S. Do not call the Kenya police, Moha says, because we are back in a moment. And welcome back to Capital Talk. What a week it's turning out to be. We're celebrating Kenya's best and brightest. Newsmakers, we're calling them, people who just do things out of the ordinary. But they don't do it for themselves. They do it for country first. Everything else second. Just like 29-year-old Mohammed Ali, folks. You know him better as Moha or just simply Jicho Pevu. He has exposed the rot and corruption and all the ills of society and put it in our TV screens, in our living rooms. And folks, he hardly gets anything back, folks. But he keeps doing it. He says it's all about Kenya first. Everything else second. 2 words, folks. Somebody sit back. Better yet, lean forward. After seeing images like that, Moha, I mean, it must have been traumatizing. And then obviously seeing the way it's portrayed on TV, and you tell yourself, am I really a journalist here? Do I want to do this for the rest of my life? That must have affected you, huh?
Very much. I remember the post-election violence. In fact, what we are showing Kenyans, if we go further or deeper and show you the exact thing without, putting the blur on the pictures, without putting it in black and white, I think there will be a problem in the country. The post-election violence, we never showed Kenyans what was going on. It was so painful, Jeff. I remember one day I was in Eldoret at the showground. There was a lot of IDPs. And we were driving with our pickup, coming towards the IDP camp to do a story. And all of a sudden, I could see more than 1,000, 3,000 children running towards our car. They were like saying, Mzungu, Mzungu. So I was with my cameraman, Biwot, and I was asking, Mzungu ni nani? I guess I was closer, maybe in color, I was closer to them.
Yes.
So they only had faith in white people. Once they see a white man, they know there is food.
My goodness.
And I saw all these children running towards me. I have nothing to give them. I just went behind one tent and cried alone. I cried, shed my tears, and then I came back. And I said, it will never happen again in my country. Yes, Jeff, I suffer a lot. When you see the dead bodies, the killings, you hear people's story, it affects us. I'm also a human being. At night, it's difficult to sleep. It's like all those images are haunting you back. The tears in somebody's eyes, you see that person crying, telling you, help me. At night, it comes in your dream. Please help me. Others end up drinking, others end up smoking, others end up doing a lot of crazy things, especially when in the field of crime. But I don't blame them, because it's difficult to do what we do. For those who are aspiring to be investigative journalists in Kenya, one word for you: Once you are in, you'll never get out. It has changed me completely. I'm in, and I'm in for good. I'll never go back. It's crazy, Jeff. It's like an addiction. You know, you might stay in the newsroom sometimes and you say, kwani Nairobi imetulia aje? There is no shootout.
Yeah.
You know, it's like an addiction. It's not that you want people to be killed, right, but you feel you need to do something.
So, okay, speaking of doing something, what's the next big story, Mohad? I know you're working on something. What's the next big one?
Jeff, the intelligence are listening. Renaissance, Italian company.
Wako macho.
So there's something that we are working on. God willing, it takes time. I can't promise Kenyans that it's going to happen after a month or two. It normally takes time. Yeah. If we get everything right, we will tell Kenyans what is going on. But Jeff, let me say something. It's all about taking risk. Kenyans don't want to take risk. We are good at making noise. We don't have action. Nelson Mandela stayed in prison for 27 years for the love of his country, for the love of his people, and he wanted everybody to be equal in the eyes of the Lord. And he suffered for 27 years. Tell me of one Kenyan who is ready to stay in police cell only for 3 hours for the love of this country. None. It's not about me. I have my own dreams and goals. The force behind me, you know, there are two things that keeps me going. I'm a guy who believes in two things: God above me and Mohammed Ali down here. So if you want to tell me you are the son of so and so, that's your problem. Yeah.
Shauri zako.
Me, I'll do what I can.
Yes.
This is a God-given talent.
When police see you, when you go to a place and the cops see you, do they turn and go the other way? Are they scared of you?
At first they were scared. In 2008 they were very scared. Every time they see me, they, you know, if they were maybe the traffic police, I'm driving, I'm coming towards their direction, or I'm doing a piece to camera on the streets. Yep. They think that I'm doing something on them. They abandon their duties and run away. But now the police have understood. In fact, we are so close with the junior officers countrywide. They are good people. The problem is there on top.
Yeah. The rot.
Yeah. Now the police are ready to help me. If they know that I'm working on something, they will help me. Say, Moha, what you're doing is for the love of this country. We are going to help you.
If you were around when Tom Mboya was assassinated, if you were around when J.M. Kariuki was assassinated, when Robert Ouko was assassinated, do you think we would have found out the truth, Moha, if there was a Moha back then digging
If I was born by then, if Moha was there by then, black and white, I'll tell you who killed Tom Mboya. I'll tell you who killed J.M. Kariuki, Piogama Pinto, Ouko. I'll tell you.
Do you think we're going to find out who killed Saito? If it was murder, if it was a foul play, you think we'll find out?
Jeff, let me tell you something. If you kill or if you do something bad to somebody, no, there's this msemo tunasema, malipo ni hapa hapa duniani.
Yes.
If you think you killed Saitoti, or you are behind the killing of Professor George Saitoti, time will tell. One day, somebody will come out and say, you know what? This is what happened. This is the evidence. So don't think that you're going to kill people and survive in this country. We will name and shame you. We are not afraid of anybody in this country. We are just afraid of God. And that's it. That's final.
Between now and election time, because of what you saw in 07 to 08, do you think we can go back to that period again, Moha? Is it possible, or have we wisened up? Are we smart enough now to say, you know what, we're never, ever going to drag this country back?
There is a high possibility that we might go back to what we saw in 2007. Simply because they have divided us. They are dividing to rule us. And that is the system. I see, if you're not careful, I see ourselves going back to 2007. I mean, if you sit down with these people and you hear what they are saying every day and they're talking about, you'll wonder whether they have the interest of this country at heart or it's their own interest. Jeff, politically you've been seeing what is going on. Miguna comes here, says something. Somebody else comes here on the bench, says something. A lot of people have been here. Yeah? Politicians are very funny people. You know, it has reached to a point. I don't do politics. I only do politics during the elections. Climax. That is when I chip in and find out if there is any rot going on before election. But it has come to a time that I think that, Jeff, this country will never change. This country will only change if the son of a poor person will be the CEO of this country. I mean, look at them. Yeah. I don't want to mention names because tomorrow, you know, it will be all over. Facebook, Twitter, oh, Moha, anaingilia mtu wetu. No, mimi siingili mtu wa watu. But I'm telling you the reality. If they are not going to unite this time round, they are not going to think about this country, boom, it will explode. And once it will explode, it will not be like 2007. It will be Kenyans against the people who don't want change in this country. We will see what happened in Egypt. We will see what happened in Tunisia. What happened in Libya might happen here. So we must be very careful. For the politicians, you want the top seat, please create a good rapport with the Kenyans. Bring your agenda, tell them what you want to do for them, but don't do anything fishy to win this election this time round.
Yeah. Because there'll be no forgiveness.
There'll be no forgiveness.
Do they still call you Kamau in the streets of Thika?
Jeff, I was raised in Thika, bwana. Yeah, I was raised in Thika, Thika Muslim Primary School from class 1 to 4. That is where I survived.
So when you go back, they say, hey.
Amodo Anyoba. Yeah.
Modo Anyoba.
Modo Anyoba.
Moha, congratulations, man.
Thanks.
Happy birthday in advance, right? August 4th.
August 4th.
Well done, man. Well done. You're the guy, man. You're the top. You're the best. Keep it up.
Thanks.
And stay safe, like your mom says. Moha, folks. Jicho Pevu, call it what you want. Are you going to retain the name, Jicho Pevu?
Briefly, the name is registered under my company. I have a company called Jicho Pevu Limited.
Yes.
KTN, the Standard Group, they have also registered Jicho Pevu as a trademark. But you see,
you are Jicho Pevu.
If you see Mohammed Ali, you see Jicho Pevu.
Correct. It can't be done by anyone else.
If you see Jicho Pevu, you see Mohammed Ali. But I don't want to argue. As long as what you are doing, whether you call it Jicho Pevu, whether you call it Jicho whatever, as long as we are helping this country, as long as the information that you are giving out is the information that is going to benefit this country. And I keep on telling them that I am not the beneficiary of this, of whatever that I'm doing. The generation to come will benefit. No, I want to sit down during my retirement. My son has a good life. He wants to get an ID, he gets it. He wants to get a passport, he gets it. A job, there is no bribe. This is what I want to see. My time is done. I'm fighting for the next generation.
My goodness, man. Are you sure you're 29?
I'm 30 on 4th of August. Nimekuwa mzee bana.
Call him what you want, folks, but he is no doubt Jicho Pevu. Why lie? And he's just barely 30 years old, thinking country first, everything else second, waking up every morning and making a difference. Are you doing that? Are you watching? Somebody, please emulate what Mohammed Ali is doing, folks. If a few of us can do this, this country will change. But as Moha says, if we keep recycling the same people over and over, we're looking at trouble down the line. In the meantime, Kenya's best and brightest, and no doubt Moha is the best, bar none, the best investigative journalist we've ever produced. Will there ever be another Moha, folks? Hey, who knows? But in the meantime, Moha is representing at the best and brightest level. What a guest, what a show, what a week it's going to be, folks. We are indeed tunapiga ndebe all the way with the best and the brightest, and Moha is no doubt up there with the best of the best of the best. You can find guests like Mohammed Ali anywhere else but right here on the bench on the award-winning station K24, where we are, yes indeed, even in times, like Moha says, of dead man walking, we are still all Kenyan.
All the time.
Shukran ndugu yangu.
Asante.
Well done, man.
Thank you.
Capital Talk is filmed at Fairmont, the Norfolk.